me a question.
So what do you do?
I'm into, murders and executions mostly.
Patrick had just made it to the strip, and he wasted no time exacting his revenge on Benny. At the tops, I kept my holdout weapons and proceeded to charge at him with my knife. It didn't go too well. My next few attempts were just as unsuccessful. I was making this much harder than it should have been. In one of my attempts, the axe went right through my neck. Eventually, I slaughtered all the chairmen, and Benny descended the stairs into my bloody art project.
Add to that, every chairman in this joint is armed, and not with some holdout pea shooter like maybe you smuggled through security.
Benny's threats didn't make too much sense.
Hey, Paul!
Leaving the tops, I kill Aurelio for trying to outdress me. The White Glove Society was next, and this group was just made for Patrick Bateman. I wanted to return the White Gloves back to cannibalism and attend their gourmet dinners in absence of Dorcia.
Courtney, dinner.
I can't.
I'm thinking Dorcia.
Dorsey's nice.
My favorite way to complete this quest is to frame Heck Gunderson for his own son's death. Ted seems pretty unfazed for being locked in a meat freezer full of human skulls. Fortunately for him, though, he spent his last few moments goofing around. Cupping my hands, I grab Ted's blood and I shove it into my pockets. Upstairs in the suite, I spread blood around to frame Heck Gunderson for his son's death. I then proceed to tell a Securitron I heard sounds of a struggle. No idea why he's not arresting me, considering what I did to the tops. Regardless, Heck refuses arrest and is killed by the Securitron. I, however, make his death look like alcohol poisoning. That is everything I have planned for the White Gloves. Now somebody else can cook brains for me. While at the strip, I decided to take care of the Armeritas. They have a quest line with the reward of a Pimp Boy 3 billion, which is very fitting for Patrick. I ended up freeing Troy from his contract by paying Big Saul 300 caps. After telling Troy the good news, I went to Freeside to get my bling. Ralph gave me my glorious Pimp Boy 3 billion in return for helping him out with weapon sales.
Don't touch the watch.
Unfortunately for Ralph, he touched my watch. Huge mistake on his part. Outside, I saw 4 thugs posing for a Weezer album. They got what they deserved. After receiving the Pimp Boy, the Armeritas were no longer important. Outliving their usefulness, they found themselves at the sharp end of an axe. Upstairs, I found my videotapes that Clandon stole from me. I bribed him for some cabs, and then I killed him. Nobody returns videotapes but me. To round out the strip, I turned in the platinum chip to Mr. House for some extra caps due to a barter check. As punishment for his demonstration, I cleave him to pieces, and then I eat him. I don't think Mr. House would taste too good. Needing to satisfy Patrick's unquenchable bloodlust, I found myself at Vault 3. The close quarters environments of Vault 3 really benefited me. Using my axe, I helped the fiends repaint their walls. I killed Ranger Anders and stole his key to the lower levels. In the maintenance wing, I had a very unceremonious fight with Motor Runner. The fight was over in an instant. With my chainsaw, I fast traveled to Hidden Valley for the most difficult fight in this whole playthrough. Even with my chainsaw ignoring the paladin's armor, I was still incredibly weak and would die to a few shots, especially their Gauss rifles. I also made this way harder by deciding to kill them all instead of blowing up the bunker. After half an hour of brutal combat, the Mojave wasteland was purged of techno-fetishists, only costing me all of my healing supplies. Speaking of techno-fetishists, I decided I would activate Mr. House's Securitron army underneath the fort. The gatekeeper called me a fool for challenging the Legion, but he had it backwards. Fighting the Legion was a cakewalk, especially when compared to the Brotherhood. Even Caesar and his elite guard stood no chance against Bateman. In an act of rage, I devoured everybody who was inside the tent. One legionary refused to fight. He was too busy getting strong. The defenses in the bunker proved no match for me. They were really just an annoyance. I installed the platinum chip and I left. Afterwards, I sent Yes Man to the Lucky 38, where he informed me that the president was wearing a better suit than me. I couldn't allow this. He simply had to die. The NCR was worried that their president was going to be assassinated. I bet they didn't think it would be as soon as he opened the door, however. After dealing with most of the NCR outside, I decided to torment the soldiers inside of the dam by massacring them in their own president's suit.
That's a wonderful suit. Don't tell me, let me guess. Valentino Couture.
Uh-huh.
It looks so soft.
Your compliment was sufficient, Louis.
They actually tormented me instead, with trail carbines and sniper rifles, and I ended up dying a few times. Nevertheless, I came out on top and ate their corpses for the satisfaction. Outside, I finished off the rest of the Rangers and soldiers, including Private Jeremy. He wouldn't be receiving any awards today. I only left one soldier alive because he made a very compelling argument.
I'm too young to die.
With President Kimball dead, I went to the El Dorado substation and installed the override chip, but not before killing all the soldiers there. With my robot army prepared, I told Yes Man I was ready for battle. Unfortunately, my game was very glitchy at the final battle, so I'm sorry that it looks so choppy. Regardless, I had no trouble turning the NCR heavy soldiers into cans of meat. I installed Yes Man and told him to power up the army at the fort. While ascending the stairs, I didn't know if I would spare Lanius or not. I showed him my business card, and he ran away in terror.
Is that a gram? New card. What do you think?
Somehow, General Oliver survived the ordeal, but I still beat Fallout New Vegas as Patrick Bateman.